Hey guys, this is Hannah and this is Bookworms Talk. And today we're going to talk about Switch by Megan Hart. I enjoyed it because Megan Hart can do no wrong, but it wasn't my favorite of the ones that I've read from her. I thought Broken and Dirty were much better. I heard a lot of not so great things from it on Goodreads, and maybe that was just a little thing in my head telling me that it's not going to be good. I don't know, but it was very enjoyable up until about the last 100 pages, but I wanted to know what happened with the characters, so that was my motivation to keep reading it, but it wasn't necessarily what happened with Paige. I wasn't concerned with her, and I think that was the root of the problem, was that I didn't really care about our main character. This book actually managed to make paper and pens seductive. Yeah. She would describe how thick the paper was, what it smelled like, what it felt like, the texture, the this, the that, if it's custom cut out of a larger sheet, the pen that she would use, and how it flowed on the paper, and how it felt in her hands, and how the words just, I mean, it was crazy. And I love the points that Megan Hart made about how handwriting things are more intimate, and now what we think of you handwrite things is like the grocery list. I still think it was worth the read. I really do, because it's Megan Hart, and I love her writing. So going into this, I thought, it's like this woman's story into submission, but it isn't how that is at all. Like, quite the opposite, actually. So Paige gets these anonymous letters in her mailbox. So she's 414, and the letters are addressed to 114 or something like that. And she thinks it's a mistake, but she opens them anyway. And they are, at first, okay. Like, it would say, go buy a blue dress, or add 30 minutes to your workout. But then they got kinky really fast. I mean, they would be like, go buy something from Cindy's or a Day Erotica, and something that embarrasses you, but that will bring pleasure. And it just got kinkier and kinkier. And then she would put the letters that she had to the rightful person. And as the story went on, I mean, she was dependent on those things. Like I said, her story was a woman's story of one to go into submission. And with the letters, that's really where I thought this was going to go. Because it's someone telling her what to do. It's her listening no matter what. Even if it was completely embarrassing, she would do it without thinking. It was giving somebody else control of her life. Then the letters stop. It was so disheartening for her, for the letters to stop, because she depended on them. She thought, well, this person in 114, what about them? And she decided to take control and continue writing the letters as this person's mistress, basically. She did kinkier stuff than the regular anonymous person. And this whole time we have her ex-husband Austin, who's trying to win her back. And then we have Mr. Mysterious, who is this guy in her apartment building that she's run into a couple different times, and she kind of wants to start this relationship with him, and she's trying to get away from her past. She just moved out away from her hometown that she went to high school and everything, and she's trying to build this new life for herself, and she has this good job with this boss who's really meticulous about things. So we get to see how this guy, Mr. Mysterious, we get to know more about him. We get to know more about Austin, and how all of it mixes together, and it's really her journey into control. I gave you a lot right there. So that's all the summary that I'm going to give you guys for now. And now the spoiler section will immense. So really, I'm going to tell you who this anonymous person is. And I don't want to ruin it for you. I would really still recommend it, because if you like anything Megan Hart, you will still like this. I promise. Okay guys, bye for now. I was like, she's basically like Elle from Dirty in the way that she just wants to use Austin for sex. She just wants this no strings attached kind of thing. It's your ex-husband. There is no such thing as no strings attached. He wants you back. He's trying to fight for you, and you just want to use it for sex. All that, just no. I'm like, oh my God. If you just voiced how you wanted to be more in control with the relationship and the sex and the whatever it was that she had this thing with, about him not being in control. I do believe in relationships, I'm gonna quote Gabriel's Inferno here, guys, that they should worship each other in the relationship. They should respect them, and yeah, so that's how I think relationships should be. And I know Austin didn't treat her as well as he could have, but he never treated her badly, and she never spoke up about it, so how would he know? Anyway, so I'm really rooting for Austin throughout this book, and I was so happy with the ending. Oh my God, I will get to that though. And we finally got Mr. Mysterious's See why it was annoying though? Because 160 pages in, we finally got his name. I'm like, I was so tired of saying Mr. Mysterious Mystery Guy person. So Jack from Dirty, got threesome guy, him, pierced, yeah, him. He's in this, and I'm like, cool, maybe there's gonna be more. But no, all we get is Jack, and he's just a problem maker. When I finally figured it out, I'm like, I think it's someone that knew Eric and Paige. And then I was like, no, wait. Then it hit me. Is it Miriam? So when she started writing the letters, I was like, I'm glad that she is. Because they were originally intended, so we thought, for this other person. And I mean, she's strong compared to how I thought that person would be. Like how they needed that kind of guidance. Then I'm like, they're gonna end eventually. It was like a P.S. I love you moment. Like, they're gonna end. You can't depend on them that much. While that might have been just like, oh, high point of the book for a lot of people, it was kind of the lull for me. When she was in the parking lot watch, that was, oh, this is like Peeping Tom. And I found myself skimming the pages for Austin's name. And I think at that point, I was like, I knew I was rooting for you guys from the start just because I always want the thing that has been before to stay. And I don't want it to be a has-been thing. I want it to be a thing for forevers. I mean, that's really when I knew that I was gunning for Austin. There was a point when I felt like I had this disconnect with Paige. I didn't know her as a character, and I know that she changed throughout the story, and it was her growing and whatnot. She went into submission in my head with receiving the letters and depending on them. And then she realized that she could be in control by writing the letters. That's about the only transition that I got out of it. I mean, I know she vocalizes more now about what she wants, but I just didn't, And they went to the carnival thingy-majig that I can't think of the name to. Anyway, where they had the funnel cakes, and oh my god, when she was there with Eric, I'm just like, this doesn't feel right. And then Kira is there with Austin. This can't happen. Kira cannot have him. It was different with Jack. Jack was just a fucking thing. She married the guy. She was your best friend. And she was, Paige was a great person. At this point, I liked Paige for this moment, but I hated her at the same time. And she's like, I'm gonna let her have him. And I'm like, she's not his to have. She's you guys. No. This is really gonna end like that. She's not gonna end up with Austin. She's just gonna be with Eric. And just no. Oh my god, and then that part with Austin crying, I'm just like, no. Oh my gosh. And then the biggest part of this book, she writes, I think we should meet in person. How is he gonna respond? Is this even the good thing to do? I want to know you guys' thoughts on that because I was a scrambling thing of I don't know. And then with her mom, and when she called Austin, I was like, yes, thank you. He was always there. And it was Austin. It's always been Austin. Whatever it takes. Austin. Oh my god. When we found out it was Miriam, I was actually a little bit disappointed. I wanted to be proven wrong. I wanted it to be something that I didn't even think of. It was like, wah, wah. It was like anticlimactic for me a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's because I took that break between reading it from the beginning, though. I think that's what made me so mad about it because it's like the first chapter and I'm just like, she's weird in that creepy backwoods fortune teller kind of way. And I'm like, that's gotta be her. And I'm really glad that she chose not to meet Eric. I'm glad that she decided to keep it a fantasy because sometimes, I'm sorry Gabriel, fantasy is better than reality if you don't have reality as the fantasy. Just at the end, I was so happy. I mean, it was jumping joy, happy flipping bookness that she chose Austin. He was totally willing to do all of this for her. He's like, if that's what you want, I'll do that. If you want me on my knees, I will be that. And he wanted her that bad, and that's what she wanted. She wanted someone to need her and for her to be in control of things. And that's what she needed, and he wanted her. Sometimes you turn back, sometimes you walk away, and sometimes you find a place that's meant to be and you stay there. You find a way to make it work, whatever it takes. Ending lines are great with her, always. Oh, it was such a good book. I had a lull or two, I had a break between it, but overall I thought it was a good book, and I'm pretty sure I give it 4 stars on Goodreads, and I think I have a really in-depth review of that, and it's a little bit negative, but I had to get my frustrations out because I went straight to Goodreads and I was just typing, and you know, when you're angry when you finish books, it's always a little bit more negative, but it wasn't as bad as I said, and I still gave it 4 stars, which is still really good. And I think I would have given it 3 stars had it not been Megan Hart's writing, and beautiful words like how the end was and these different comparisons and how the paper was described. I mean, damn, I was turned on by paper. Okay, that's a little weird, but you know what I mean if you read this. Join me next time, guys, on Bookworms Talk, where I'll be talking about either another Megan Hart book, Gabriel's Rapture, or this little guy, Stardust, by Neil Gaiman. I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Blankety blank, and it was blankety blank, and he's in fucking 114, holy fucking fuck. What does that mean? Why was I freaking out? I don't even know what I meant. Write better notes, Hannah. Oh, I'm smart. And Vivian said winningly. I was like, what? Is that even a word? We are Charlie Sheen. Guys, that's what? But that will bring prep. But that will bring prep. But that will bring prep. Fuck. I am beautiful.